What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Triggered. This is Triggered episode number 168. We're here on Thursday. We're still in the quarantine, and who knows how long this is going to go on, but we will still be bringing you Triggered no matter what. And so let's start off with some news about the coronavirus. Obviously, we have President Trump this morning did his press conference, and they're signing into law a multi-billion-dollar emergency aid package aimed at helping Americans impacted by the coronavirus, which includes provisions offering paid leave benefits, bolstered some unemployment benefits, and free diagnostic testing for the virus so that you won't have to pay to get tested. But the bigger news coming out of that press conference was the talk of a potential treatment of the Wuhan coronavirus.
Yeah.
And that is hydroxychloroquine.
Mm-hmm. Used to treat malaria.
Yes, yeah. It is a malaria drug. Mm-hmm. I think Katie took it when she went to Africa recently.
Yeah.
And but it has not been fully approved as of yet. The FDA still needs to do some clinical trials to see if it's what the safe and effective dose is. But other countries have been using it already. They're using it in South Korea. Mm-hmm. And they say that it is effective in South Korea in reducing how lethal the virus can be.
That's good.
Obviously, it's not a full cure.
Yeah.
But if we can stop people from dying, then that at least allows us to kind of get back to somewhat normal, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to be shielded in our house. The president said, quote, "We slashed red tape to develop vaccines and therapies as fast as it could possibly be done, long before anybody else was even thinking about doing this. As we race to develop a vaccine, we're also pursuing antiviral therapies, and to me that's even more important. The vaccine, by its nature, you have to have long tests. The therapies are something we can move on much faster, potentially. Clinical trials are already underway for many new therapies, of which he's talking about this basic anti-malaria drug." And the other interesting thing is he noted that if the treatments are safe and used in other countries, they're going to consider them. And the biggest quote was, "Nothing will stand in our way."
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think that this can be effective, or do you think it's just kind of a magic potion, fool's errand type thing?
Well, I think it could be a good stopgap if effective towards the vaccine. The FDA chief said today that the time frame for that is going to be about 12 months. So like you mentioned on the last episode, about a year or so. So we just need, if it reduces the lethality of the virus,
Just use it.
use it. I mean,
some people were saying that
it's going to save lives.
Some of the, this is unconfirmed, but some people were saying that hospitals in New York were already testing it.
Oh, really? Okay.
And New York is quickly becoming the epicenter of the outbreak here in the United States.
It's bad.
It's getting out of control.
Their hospitals are bracing for impact. I think this weekend. This weekend should be.
Yeah, this weekend will be kind of a watershed moment in how we figure out how bad this is going to be. And then Trump also went on to say, quote, "The nice part is it's been around for a long time, so we know if things don't go as planned, it's not going to kill anybody. It's shown very, very encouraging early results. We're going to be able to make that drug available almost immediately, and that's where the FDA has been so great. They took the approval process down from many, many months to immediate. We're going to be able to make that drug available almost immediately, which is fantastic news. It's just not approved for official treatment of coronavirus patients, which I don't give a shit. The doctors can prescribe whatever they want.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be fully approved for treatment of this specific thing. The doctors can go out there, write the scripts for it, and I mean, that's just normal clinical procedure.
Yeah.
So hopefully it does have some sort of effectiveness. It's also being reported now that the State Department will issue a level 4 travel advisory telling all Americans abroad to come home or shelter in place, which I think is pretty big.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, come home now or you're not going to be allowed back in.
Yeah.
And Americans are also being instructed not to travel internationally, which, anyone can tell that at this point. Americans shouldn't be traveling at all right now.
Yeah.
These people on the fucking beaches in Florida.
It's bad.
Disgusting.
Yeah. They're still going out.
It's totally disgusting.
Yeah.
Finally today they closed down the beaches.
Yeah.
But did you see that video of the kids saying, "Oh, it's spring break, we're going to party no matter what"? dumbasses.
And they're just like, what yeah, it's not that bad. What about poverty and hunger in America? I'm like, this is typical millennial bullshit.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, these people need to realize that...
They should have napalmed the beach.
Yeah. That's what they would have done in China.
Yeah.
They need to realize that they may not get sick from it, but they're about to get on planes and go back to their families.
And they're
or
go back to
go back to colleges or go see friends elsewhere. Go all over to the the 48 states basically.
Yeah.
And they're it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go down there and honestly shoot these people. Like, it's disgusting how Gen Z and some millennials are completely disregarding this. And we talked about this on Tuesday. But if you look at other countries right now, young kids are getting pretty damn sick.
Yep.
It's not like they're immune to it. Yeah, the death rate may be lower.
But you can still get it, and the reason why they're getting it is because they continue to go out. There is a girl that was on Barstool. She's like, I contracted disease. I don't know how I got it, but I went clubbing for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's just like I have no idea how you got it. Then
we need the hospital beds.
Yeah,
and for these kids to do these stupid things in crowds and then end up taking up hospital beds is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that takes it away from the older people who really need the hospital beds and then end up dying because of it. Yeah. And if you look at Italy, their death toll now is huge.
It has now surpassed China,
which is fake news though. China's death toll
I know, but I'm just going by what they I know it's not real. I'm just going by what they're saying.
Anybody who believes China's death toll is an idiot.
It's what, 3,800 deaths now?
That's what they said.
Oh, no,
you're talking about Italy.
Italy.
Yeah,
it's like
But
it's staggering.
There's no way that China had that many cases.
Yeah.
Well, their case number was a lie anyway, right?
Yeah, it was.
Which means the death number was a lie.
And if
they were burning
bodies.
10 incinerators.
Yeah, and if Iran, I think Iran's numbers are probably even worse.
Yeah, those are lies too.
We don't know. We're probably never going to know what the real number for that is, but.
This is so bad that you have the Baltimore mayor coming out here, and this is a hilarious story. The Baltimore mayor came out yesterday pleading with residents to stop shooting each other, right? To stop shooting each other so that the hospitals will have enough resources to treat coronavirus sufferers. They said we can't clog up our hospitals and their beds with people that are being shot senselessly because we're going to need those beds for people infected with the coronavirus. I want to reiterate how completely unacceptable the level of violence is that we have seen recently. We will not stand for mass shootings and an increase in crime. For those of you who want to continue to shoot and kill people in the city, we're not going to tolerate it. We're going to come after you and we're going to arrest you. And good luck with that, because now police departments are saying that they're not going to arrest people
for nonviolent crimes.
Well, yeah, but nonviolent crime is...
There's a ton of crimes on that nonviolent crime list. You see that list
that
Philadelphia
The list
released?
is basically you could go ahead and rob or steal anything
vandalize
you want.
anything, So
go ahead and steal cars. Go ahead and break into homes. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What are these police departments thinking?
Yeah.
In this time,
it's a recipe for chaos. I mean, I think Tucker said that.
It's not the fucking purge.
Yeah.
In this time of national disaster, we need our police to be strong and out there and enforcing the law.
They should be even more stringent, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
They need to be keeping law and order because people can get out of hand pretty quick.
Especially with theft and vandalism. Like, you can't just have people just doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this thing's gonna last a long time.
Yeah.
People are gonna go nuts.
Yeah,
they're gonna go crazy.
We're going nuts right now.
I know.
We already killed half our roommates. I mean,
we're only a week in. I mean,
it's only been a week.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know. So
I can't do this for 30 days.
I have friends that live in Philly, and Philly is one of these police departments that's doing this. So like, what is this purge?
Yeah, really.
I mean, I don't feel safe walking on the city streets now.
All emergency services.
No, it's like what it is. Yeah. It's crazy.
For a period of 35 days.
Yeah. And then I saw a video of someone driving through the streets blaring the purge horn. And I was like, oh my God, these people are...
That's funny, though. That's funny, a little funny.
And the person deserves to be shot. But the virus is deadly, but something that could actually end up being a lot worse is the economic fallout.
Yeah.
So people are already losing their jobs. Unemployment is skyrocketing. Unemployment claims are through the roof. Mm-hmm. And yet we still have the liberal American media
yes.
carrying water and making excuses for the fucking Chinese communist government.
Yeah.
How unbelievable
I don't
is
know.
that?
It's bad.
I mean, you would think that after everything that we've been through in the past 10 days to 2 weeks would have taken the blinders off and realized, wow, China fucking did this to us.
Yeah.
China did this to us. And China is to blame. You should blame the out of China.
Yeah.
They're saying, oh, well, you shouldn't play the blame game.
Yeah.
No, we're going to play the blame game.
We're going to do it.
Because why are we sitting here quarantined right now? It's because of those fucking communists.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Who discovered evidence of the virus in December, who destroyed the samples of it in December, who kept their medical staffs in the dark, who prevented, the new reports on new cases.
Well, yeah, Axios has a great timeline of how the virus initially started, how the communists in China, especially their top leadership, and the leadership in Wuhan, hid the virus at the beginning, the 3 weeks at the beginning when it's most vital to stop the outbreak. They were hiding it because of a fucking PR move.
Yep.
And they refused to let the CDC into the country. And in that 3 weeks, they now estimate that if we had taken measures during those 3 weeks, that global infections would have been 95% less and very likely would not have spread internationally.
Look at that.
They let 5 million fucking people leave Wuhan.
Yeah. And they
5 million.
And they knew of human-to-human transmission. They knew about all of this.
And a bunch of those people went to Italy.
Yeah.
And now look at Europe is totally in chaos.
Yeah.
Europe is France, Spain, the UK, Italy.
It's the epicenter, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the epicenter of the pandemic.
Besides
now.
us.
Yeah, besides us. And it's all China's fault. But, China sent doctors over to Italy yesterday.
Oh, wow. Look
so, it's kind of like...
Guy wrote today on the site, I encourage everybody to read this article. Yes, we should blame China. That's what he said. He said, quote, given the Chinese government's disgraceful and documented efforts to lie about what happened and assign bogus responsibility, blaming Beijing is the affirmatively correct and needed course of action. The truth must be defended and preserved, both for the present moment and the historical record, and the truth is extremely damning for the Chinese Communist Party. They silenced doctors.
You did. They strong-armed doctors trying to do the right thing.
Then the guy died.
Yep.
And they were warning about the disease. Some were censured for, quote, spreading rumors. The Stasi, the police came in and ripped anyone out that was making YouTube videos about what was actually going on.
And some of those YouTubers have vanished.
They're dead.
Yeah.
They're dead. Or they're in the camps with the Muslims that they're boxing up. I mean, it's the truth. And these people are terrible people.
Yeah,
they caused a global pandemic, a global likely recession.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of people will lose their jobs.
Maybe that's what they wanted.
Millions of people have lost their retirement. That's what I was saying.
Maybe that's what they wanted.
I know.
When the world burns and everyone loses, that's a win for Beijing, in Beijing's eyes.
Right.
So it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. In late December, there was a lab in Wuhan that identified the coronavirus as a highly contagious pathogen that was spreading through the city. They were ordered by the local Wuhan officials to stop tests and destroy samples.
Yep.
And of course, now Beijing is scrambling to censor this story.
Yeah.
They refused the entry for the CDC. We offered to help them. And let's also not forget that the beginning of this entire thing was because they eat fucking weird. And I'll say, I don't give a shit. Call me racist all you want. You shouldn't be eating fucking wild animals like that. And now they've actually banned it in China.
Oh, no more bats?
Not that the royal people are going to listen and the poor people are going to listen. But it's
no
banned.
bats. No bats.
No, they banned wild animals.
Oh.
Yeah. They banned,
Except for dogs,
snakes,
right? Dogs.
pangolins, bats. Well, yeah, they'll eat dogs still.
Pangolins? What the f*** is that?
The pangolin. So that's actually what they think came from. It was from a pangolin to a bat to a human.
Oh, okay.
And pangolin is it's some exotic animal. But the crazy stuff that China eats is probably the root cause of this. Well, it's either that or they manufactured it.
Yeah.
In a bioweapons lab. I mean, the two options there are not good for them either way. But and as Larry wrote in his VIP column today on Town Hall, and thank you to the VIP subscribers who have subscribed from listening to Triggered. We love every one of you. He wrote that China needs to stop eating weird. Let's stop eating bats. And maybe we should reconsider our trade relationship with China. And we also need to consider all the manufacturing aspect of this.
There's too much stuff being made over there now.
Well, we're too reliant. We're too reliant on them for everything. And in a case of a national emergency like this, we need to be able to make this stuff here.
Yeah.
The masks, the drugs, all of that stuff. We need to be able, as a country, yeah, of course, you want to have trade relationships with people. And it in a normal vacuum economy, it's perfectly fine. But here, we need to essentially cut ourselves off from the rest of the world, and we're stuck being reliant on other countries. That really kills me of this whole thing, that we can't even like effectively do this ourselves. We're relying on other countries still. And Congressman Michael McCall, who sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, has accused China of carrying out, quote, one of the worst cover-ups in human history. They expelled the journalists. Why do you think they did that?
I don't know.
I mean, it's to cover it up.
Oh, I know. I'm saying I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why? Why would they?
But at this point, I'm so sick of the people making excuses for China or saying that calling it the Wuhan virus
is racist,
or the Wuhan coronavirus is xenophobic and racist.
Hey, I've been told
it
puts Asian Americans at risk.
Yeah. But really, like it's just like a go f yourself moment, because I'm sick of these people trying to say, oh, well, you shouldn't say that about the virus.
I like Kung Flu.
Kung flu is a good one. Wu flu is a good one. Wuhan coronavirus, Wuhan virus. We call it the Wuhan coronavirus on Town Hall, and we're going to continue to tell the truth.
Wu flu
about where this came from. I mean, I'm pissed about the liberal media in this country, how they are trying to whitewash this.
Well, they're not on our side
for the Chinese.
Yeah,
I mean, the Chinese are saying that we invented this virus and introduced it to them.
The ambassador got hauled in for that bull.
They said that the CIA did this, or the U.S. military did this. I mean, these are terrible people.
Yeah, go yourself, China.
And it was when they did that President Trump started saying the Chinese virus.
Yeah.
Which is accurate.
Yeah. It's not. What's inaccurate about that?
No,
really?
I know.
What's
That's
inaccurate about that?
Anytime I challenge somebody on social media to tell me what factually is inaccurate about it, they have no answer. Yeah. Oh, well, it's racist. Get your social justice warrior bullshit out of here.
It's not racist.
Maybe if we didn't have this SJW bullshit of people, are independent and can do what they want. If they want to eat bats, they can eat bats. Maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
No.
Maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. We're all sitting here in quarantine as our economy collapses because of the fucking Chinese. And don't let people forget that. That's the root of my mantra right now. In everything that I'm tweeting is, don't let people forget that the Chinese did this. And it's just unbelievable the lengths that they've gone to hide this. And the World Health Organization is playing a role in the cover-up.
Yeah.
Totally. They believed them from the beginning.
January 21st, they tweeted that.
Yeah, you saw the tweet.
Yeah.
It's just... it's
flashback.
Infuriating. Totally infuriating. And we're going to have a lot of time to talk about this, but... this is destroying our economy, so we need to figure out what the hell we're going to do here.
We can't keep taking 5 to 10% hits on the stock market every day.
Only the stock market. I mean, that at this point is almost auxiliary.
Yeah.
Millions of people are now out of jobs.
Yes.
The unemployment rate is skyrocketing. People's retirements are toast.
Yeah.
If people were planning to retire anytime in the next few months, gone.
Can't do it.
Not happening. So... and certainly don't sell anything right now on the stock market because you're going to take a 75% loss. So this is bad. And the Chinese, we got to get through this first, but then I'm certainly interested in revenge.
Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of revenge for this. And even other countries, leaders of other countries are suggesting China probably should pay for a lot of this.
They should. And
I think we need to go down that route. The only good economic note in this country is that Americans are buying a record number of guns, which I can get behind. The federal background check system has seen a 300% increase in firearms purchases over the past week. The demand is so high, a backlog has been created, which is interesting because I don't know that that's happened anytime in recent history. I think gun sales might be the highest they've been in 10 years. I don't know. But the NSSF Senior Vice President Larry Keene, National Shooting Sports Foundation, wrote, quote, "First they came for hand sanitizer and bleach wipes, then it was toilet paper, now it's guns and ammunition." And ammunition is out of stock in many places online. I mean, ammo, bulk ammo, one of our favorite outlets to shop at, is totally out at 556. But this also goes back to the police thing. People are now not trusting the police to be protecting them. They need to get guns. And, luckily, we live in a state that avoided total communism this past legislative session. But many places where people are at the most risk, you can't get guns. New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey,
Got trust those cops, the cops, New York's finest.
California and Illinois, Chicago. I mean, I've had friends from New York and New Jersey say, man, I wish I could have a gun right now.
Yeah.
Because there is a fear that should things escalate, things could get out of hand quick.
Yeah.
So, criminals will always be criminals. So, Philadelphia is not arresting people for carjacking, retail theft from an individual, and many more crimes. So, people need to be cognizant of what's going on out there. Let's talk a little bit about politics real quick here.
Sure.
The election. You know who finally dropped out?
Tulsi.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard.
Damn it!
The only achievement that she had of the entire time was body bagging Kamala Harris.
Maybe that was a good thing.
That was a great thing. I mean, she was never able to come back from that.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Biden picks Kamala as his VP.
Has to be
she's a black
person.
woman.
Yeah, has to be a black person.
Which, would not be good because she sucks. But we also have Bernie Sanders saying that he might drop out of the race. Nobody knows.
I might drop out.
Yeah.
Psych.
But he's still, Bernie the communist is still in full force. You know what he said yesterday?
Yeah.
Or on Tuesday during a press conference. He made the case that private businesses should give government a stake in their company for a bailout.
Oh my God. No. No.
And it says, quote, "We must make sure that companies that get bailouts are required to sell equity to the government and put workers on their board of directors."
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm not on board with the giving the government a stake in their company, but I certainly think that the companies, especially companies that have massive Chinese part ownership, should be forced to pay back the money later on.
Yeah.
And also, places like Boeing and the airlines, I don't even know if I want those to be bailed out. I mean, it's a huge chunk of the economy.
Yeah.
But look at what they did, right? Boeing used $44 billion to buy back their own stock over the last 2 years since the tax cut, right?
Uh-huh.
They should have been planning ahead for a rainy day. They should have known, as the premier space company in the United States, that the economy was never going to stay good.
Yeah.
Or to plan for a rainy day like this. I'm a big rainy day planning guy. So you never want to overextend yourself, and that's what they did. They're out of liquidity. And they're now calling on their entire line of credit that they have for $20 billion because they're afraid that the banks are going to cut them off.
Yeah.
But they're at risk of failing, and it's due to their own fault. They had the money, they had the liquidity, and they also f***ed up with the 737 MAX.
Yeah,
that hurt them big time beforehand.
Good. Yeah.
But, I mean, you have to plan ahead for these things as a major multi-billion-dollar company, hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't know. You have to plan ahead, and at the same time, like I see, yes, we need to save these companies because we can't have them collapse and take down the entire economy, but also
you reap what you sow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword there for sure, and
it's like with the auto industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they saved the auto industry, which was fine, and they paid back a decent amount of that money, which I'm fine with. If they're going to pay the money back, like if we want to give Boeing $50 billion, but they're going to pay it back over the next 2 to 3 years, okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But it shouldn't just be giving away free money to these companies right now, especially, when you have the other aspect of it where you need a direct consumer stimulus. I mean, that's going to cost $1 trillion.
Yeah. I can't wait to get my check.
No, we shouldn't even be getting checks. Like, that's the other thing. Is they're gonna do this rated on income, but people like us sitting here, we're still being paid.
Well,
we don't need that money.
Yeah.
The people,
but I still want it.
Yeah, of course, because you're greedy. But in a time of national emergency, we need to band together. The people that need the money are the people that work at restaurants.
Yeah.
The people that have been laid off. The people that are going to lose their jobs over the next few months because they can't work at home. We're blessed in the fact that we get to work from home. We get to sit here and still do our jobs and still have our paychecks come in. But the people that really need the assistance, the direct assistance here, are the people that have already lost their jobs, the people that are going to lose their jobs in the tourism and service industry. You know, luckily a lot of the casinos in Vegas are still going to pay their employees, but that can only go on for so long.
Yeah.
You know, they may lose their jobs too. So those are the people that really need the help.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's something new. All of Vegas is now shut down for a month.
Yeah. Not not the people that are just going to pile that on to either savings. I mean, I get that they'll probably spend that money in some aspect, but there's not really much to spend it on right now.
Yeah.
So I think that the direct stimulus needs to be a lot more targeted, and I'm hoping that they're going to do that up in Congress. And if I get money, I'm just going to give it to somebody that needs it more than me right now.
Me.
Yeah, you definitely do. The guy who has a personal trainer definitely needs the money.
I don't
right?
have that. I don't have that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that person is. I don't know why we talk about Justin that way.
We also had another election. Not that anybody really gave.
Well, because
That was hilarious. I didn't see any news stories about that besides like one little bleep, mention.
Well,
there.
because we all knew what the headline was going to be.
Well,
this.
yeah,
Biden ran roughshod over Bernie everywhere.
He has the nomination locked up. I mean, Tuesday he ran the entire table. Won Florida, Illinois, and Arizona.
The only thing of note was that Ohio shut down their primary over coronavirus concerns.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing.
Defied a judicial order. The judge actually said that had to happen, that they had to hold the primary, and then basically they shut down for a health emergency.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the interesting thing is I think Bernie was planning to carry on.
Yeah.
But this coronavirus has thrown a new wrench into things.
Yeah.
Because the more he does that, the more it requires people to go out and vote and potentially expose themselves in places where there's a lot of people. Right now, they're looking at trying to transfer all these elections to mail-in ballot elections, which is a huge undertaking in itself.
Yes.
And I don't think we have the logistics to do that right now.
And it takes a long time.
Right.
It took 4 days for Washington to count all their ballots.
Yeah.
And Biden, by the way, Biden won that state. So that was another that was another Bernie state that went to Biden.
Well, people were over Bernie. And also, something that we, I guess, as political people underestimated was just how much of the Bernie vote in 2016 was the anti-Hillary vote.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly pro-Bernie.
Yeah, they just didn't like Hillary.
And he did a terrible job of utilizing that apparatus and that data that he had and expanding upon it over the 4 years he had to do so.
Yeah.
And so I think that was really interesting.
And also a good chunk went to Trump.
Yeah.
And they have stayed with Trump. They're not coming back. So
that's true.
That's that plus the anti-Hillary vote. I mean that's a good chunk that he just didn't take account of. So it's over. But he'll carry on because that's what left-wing revolutionaries do. It's not about the delegate math, it's about the cause. And
the bigger thing is
he's doing his thing right now, with his press conferences, talking about Medicare for all being the magic shield against this.
Well, yeah,
this nonsense.
The bigger thing is that he's already won the ideological debate.
Yeah.
The entire Democrat Party now is basically socialism.
Yeah.
You look at the new found opinions of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
They all went super far to the left.
And the thing is, he like after Super Tuesday, he didn't need to.
Right.
He really didn't need to. But yeah, I guess that's what his mark will be. But
yeah, and he's going to continue on. He's going to continue fighting for socialism.
He set the ground for AOC when she runs for president.
Yeah.
Oh God.
God, kill me. That's gonna suck if we're still alive by that point.
Yeah. If we're still alive.
All right. So
Smod.
two good news stories of the day to wrap up the show because I think people are in need of good news right now. So DC restaurant here. It's called Medium Rare. It's a steakhouse. It's
pretty good.
Obviously, all of the restaurants here have essentially been forced to close down for in-restaurant dining. A lot of them are working on takeout and delivery and stuff like that now. Interestingly enough, you can get booze delivered now. You can get pre-mixed margaritas.
All right. Yeah. Dirty martinis.
Yeah, but so
I got plenty of bourbon,
but they did something. Yeah, I know you did. But they did something great. At Medium Rare now, the owner Mark Boucher, I don't know. Don't know how to pronounce that, but they're now delivering free steak dinners to stranded seniors in the region who can't go out to get food and also probably aren't technologically savvy enough to use delivery apps. So
Poor guys.
it's good. You know, they've got the food in stock. They have to use it, and now they're doing this great charity, and they're arranging to get these things to seniors. So they're doing 60 to 70 deliveries a day in and around the DC area. You got rideshare drivers and others volunteering to make those deliveries, and they're doing it in a contactless manner, which is good.
Yeah.
Because these are the vulnerable people, the seniors. If they go out, they're probably going to get, the disease.
Yeah.
So that's a really good thing they're doing, and we need more of that here. Also, shout out to the truck drivers who are working nonstop to restock the grocery stores.
Yeah.
And just recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before, the Trump administration cut the huge red tape to speed up this supply chain and get the essential goods to Americans. So that's really good news. The FMCSA, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, temporarily rolled back regulations placed on truck drivers as a means of speeding up the delivery of essential goods to Americans across the country. People have been stocking up on stuff, and understandably so. Food, water, paper goods, toilet paper, which is crazy, but I guess you got to continue shitting. But because of that, they now suspended a trucking safety law that mandated drivers are only on the road for 11 hours in a 14-hour work period.
Yeah.
Then they are required to be off for 10 hours. They've suspended that, which is good. And, people will say, oh, well, maybe what about the safety of the cars on the road? Well, there's not many cars on the road.
No.
So there are more times than any. And there was a really cool picture that came out this morning from, I think it was the Lincoln Tunnel or the Holland Tunnel or one of the Port Authority crossings in New Jersey and New York. Every single toll booth was trucks coming through, and the lines of trucks were just as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
So these are the people that are getting the jobs done, and these are the blue-collar workers that keep America going, which are frowned upon by the left-wing media, which is another hilarious irony in, I guess, this whole thing.
Rural America coming to save you people.
Of course. So, I think that's going to wrap up today.
Yes.
But tomorrow, for our VIP Gold members, we are going to have a live chat, and you can find that on townhall.com. It's going to be a live video chat where you'll get to ask the questions, and we will get to chat with you guys.
Yeah.
So if you want to join that, we would love to have you join us for that. That'll be tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
Yep, 2 o'clock. And
all right.
We're going to be live on video. So if you want to get in for that, join as a VIP Gold member. If you need assistance getting that done, feel free to email us, triggered@townhall.com. Of course, leave us your 5-star ratings and reviews. We got listed on a top podcast list, and the libs are attacking the ratings. So feel free to help us out there. Your 5-star ratings and reviews go a long way.
But also thank you, for including us.
Yeah, thanks to Yaf.
Thank you.
And of course, you can follow us online at Twitter @TriggeredTHM. You can email us, triggered@townhall.com. Feel free to DM us on Twitter or shoot us an email. We got some time on our hands now. We'll just be sitting here at home, so we'd love to chat with you guys. I know for some people, we're lucky that we have a house with some roommates and some dogs, but for some people living alone, this time can be pretty lonely. Of course, don't forget to sanitize and wash your hands if you do go out.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy, yeah. So we'll be back here for more Triggered next week. Hopefully you guys can join us tomorrow for our Triggered live chat for VIP Gold members. And we'll see you then.
Later.